Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp gains. e5 is a common response that establishes a presence in the center, controls d4, and opens up the queen and dark-squared bishop. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e5 pawn, and prepares to castle. Knight c6 develops the knight toward the center, protects the pawn on e5, and eyes the d4 square. The Ruy-Lopez opening develops the bishop to immediately attack the knight on c6, the lone defender of the e5 pawn. Knight f6 develops the knight and attacks the undefended e4 pawn. d3 protects the e4 pawn and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. Bishop c5 develops the bishop, attacks the f2 pawn, and prepares castling. This forces the opponent to double pawns. Recaptures. Castling gets the king out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. This defends the attacked pawn, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. This is a fair move. The knight finds a new active square. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack. This is the strongest option. Castling to the same side of the board is a more cautious approach. Moving the queen gives white more flexibility in the middle game. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. Very precise. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. There were worse moves, but also something much better. Black's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Takes back. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. Right on target. With the rook now developed as well, white has all pieces ready for action. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This creates luck for the king, providing it an escape square. This is the strongest option. This blocks the attack on a pawn that could have been captured, putting the piece on a blockade square. White's bishop has moved to a square with greater activity and control. Very precise. The knight is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. Black will be winning a pawn with that fork. This is an equal trade. This blocks white's pawn. This moves the bishop to safety. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. This allows the opponent to take an outpost with a rook. The rook is on a strong square where it has activity. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Recaptures. Black activates the last piece, bringing all pieces into play. This threatens to tactically win a rook. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a rook. This is an equal trade. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Takes back. That pawn was free for the taking. This is the only good move. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. An active king is critical in the endgame, and getting it off of the back rank is the first step. White's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. One of the best moves. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off of the back rank. Right on target. This is the strongest option. A solid choice. Very precise. Right on target.